If you stumble across this video, you're probably in the wrong spot. If you're in a class of mine, you're in the right spot. This is about our meta-analysis project. And so the point of this video is to, it's communicating face-to-face in a way on YouTube about what the project's about and some steps to success. And so we have a reading this week, and then we have a whole semester of reading and meta-analyses. It won't take you but a half a second to type in meta-analysis of whatever topic in a search engine and come up with many meta-analyses. And then you can go, oh, okay, I see how this works. And so what we need to do is we got to come up with a question, and how we come up that question has some I don't know, parameters, some brackets, so we can be successful. Again, it's not a statistics class. This is not a meta-analysis class. And so how we can be successful. And so one, you read the article for this week, and you really delve into it, you dive into it, you dig into it, and you make sure you read it and you understand it. And then you go, oh, okay, I see the point. Then you start to think of a topic that you might want to do a meta-analysis on, again, now with some parameters, some brackets. And so the link that I have for the website is a meta-analysis calculator, calculates effect sizes. And so it does it three ways. We're interested in the top way and the bottom way. So the top way is between groups, two groups. And it can't be within a group. And I'll start with that. Within groups means I go my basketball goals right there. I shoot 10 free throws. I do a self-talk intervention, and I, again, shoot 10 more, so I have a pre and a post. There's no other group. There's no placebo group. There's not a imagery group. It's just one group of people that do something, shoot a pre-test, do something, and have a post-test. We can't typically handle those type of data because we need the correlation of the pre and post-test, which is a long story. It's rare that we have that. So wipe that out of your mind. All right? So between two groups, here are some example questions that I could ask. What is the difference between clinically depressed and non-depressed individuals on self-reported physical activity? So I'd have self-reported physical activity, a mean, a standard deviation, and number of participants who did those measures, who are clinically depressed, and those who are not. And you can just look at that box on that web page. You got to have the mean, standard deviation, and group 1, and then group 2, the same thing. And you pump that stuff in, and tells you the result down at the bottom of the web page. What are the other questions? The difference between boys and girls in time spent in moderate to vigorous physical activity in PE classes. Nothing wrong with that. What's another good question? Reaction time performance of fit versus unfit individuals. Nothing wrong with that question. And then let's drop down to the bottom. It says R, correlation. What are correlation-based questions, right? So it's a relationship between two variables. What's the relationship between depression scores and self-rated physical activity? What's the relationship between extroversion and self-rated physical activity? What's the relationship between self-rated physical activity and reaction time performance, right? And so those are the type of questions that you need to think about. And then when you think about the steps to success, some of this does become difficult, because if you choose a topic that there was a meta-analysis on that came out in 2020, it's going to be very difficult for you to find new studies on that topic and not just look at the reference section and just pick the ones you want, and then bingo, you're done, right? And that's not the point. The point would be, obviously, there could be a meta-analysis on your topic, but if it's just been done, then we're going to have to find another topic or find something really, really unique I can't think of what that would be, of how to make something that's just been done something you can do still in 2020, right? So you have to think in that way. But don't think of the world's most unique, topic. Here's an example from a seminar I gave overseas. I talked, I asked for questions, and somebody said they want to study self-determined motivations in rhythmic gymnastic participants who, whatever, from country X. I said that'd be easy. It's 0. That you're done. You can't even start. And they go, really? I said, yeah, that's really. So we just punched it in the computer and 0 results. Not possible. All right. And so it has to be a question where we could go find data. So 1, we've got the reading. We read it. 2, we start to think of our own questions that we're interested in. What's the range of topics? I'm pretty much open to anything. I mean, this is exercise psychology. We have people in motor learning and clinical ex-phys and sports psych. I'm pretty much open to any question that's the realms of our fields. Right? So we have the article, we read it, we think of our own questions, we look at this website that's got very simple. You can mess around, punch in data, see it, give a result. It doesn't matter if you know what the effect size means. That's not the point. You can see that it works. You can usually de-stress because, wow, this works. I also have a meta-analysis program. The goal isn't for everybody to have the most complicated data ever, that we have to use a fancy program. We just need to have 2 groups or a correlation. Right? And step 3 becomes finding data. So the first thing to do is we have to figure out if you know how to use the Texas Tech library system, because it is superior. It's not superior to Google Scholar. It's superior in the fact that when I search for stuff and it doesn't have the PDF, I can click the Find It button, and it goes to the Texas Tech system where they will go get you the article. So that's really great. I don't know if you know how to do that. I have no idea. All right, so that's why this week we got to do this in some regard more than just email or text, because I need to see that you can actually do it. All right, and so we got the article. Then we start thinking of our own questions. We look at that website, between group differences or relationship questions. Then we go, okay, I got to go find the articles. So I type in www.lib.ttu.edu. Right, and then I go, and there's this thing that says EBSCO is over here. I click on that, and it's got all sorts of resources that you can use that searches articles for you. I can write out typical things that I search, right? It might be different from you, probably not too different if you stay in the realms of sport and exercise psychology. And then you type in words, right? And then you learn to limit the search, because when I don't limit the search, it could come up with 2,000 articles, right? But if I limit that search to just 2020 in my search terms, then again, huge de-stress when it comes up with 5 things I can look at, not 5,000. Right? And then that last part of success is knowing how to go actually get the articles if it doesn't have the PDF. Because again, Google Scholar is an incredible resource to find information. It might just not have the PDF, and then we just go, oh, I can't get the article. Well, that's not true. Texas Tech will go get the article for you. And so then the last part is this is the stress point. The stress point becomes, well, how many articles do I need? Right? I'm not you. I'm not going to write meta-analyses for a living. No, okay, that's fine. It's not a confrontation. I asked for 15 individual samples so we could do something with it. And so again, what happens over time, I've done this for a long time, is somebody chooses the most unique question that's never been studied except once or twice, and then 3 months later, they go, oh, I couldn't find any. And I said, I know that. I knew that at the end of the week where you're supposed to meet with me, because you tell me the topic, I'm on the other end, I open up www.lib.ttu.edu, EBSCO, put it on the stuff, boom, 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 and I can tell you in 20 seconds what I think of your topic. And that's why we need to meet, and that's why it will be hopefully enjoyable, because we can come up with a topic that we can go, okay, one, is there a meta-analysis already on the topic? How recent is it? Let's say you choose goal setting. There hasn't been a meta-analysis in sport and exercise psychology since 1994, right? So that's a reasonable topic, right? Especially if the groups are do your best group and a specific, short-term goal group. Well, you could do that. There's got to be something since 1994 to now that hasn't been already researched, already put in a meta-analysis. So that's the video. I hope it makes sense. I'm going to, obviously, if this is my class in fall 2020, I put out a video. And I woke up middle of the night thinking that's not the right video. I said the wrong thing. And so I stopped it, and here's the new video. Article, think, search, let's visit, I search, and we can come up with a great topic and have a great semester. That's it. See you soon.